Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3D Models, and this is where we left it off. Okay, so let's now put on our shading panel, and what we want to do is we want to actually give this some textures. Now, textures on here, they're all pretty much the same because they're all going to be exactly the same texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this onto material so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let it load up. It's going to take a little bit of time because we've got a fair few things in here now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these, including these. I'm going to make sure that I've got my hinges as well. Actually, I don't need my hinges because I'm going to put those as a different material. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to basically copy this. So Control L, link materials like so. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to press A and U, Smart UV Project, click OK, like so. Now I'm hoping that the windows actually, they have come out looking pretty nice. I think they look good, especially this split here. They might need to be on the UV end. I've also got that one, in there as well, which I didn't really want. So let's deselect that. They might be a little bit small. So let's go to shading panel. And then what I'll do is I'll press tab. I'll press A to grab everything. I'm going to press, so I can see what I'm doing. I'm then going to press S and pull them out a little bit. Now we can see with this part on here, it's not looking right. So I'll just fix that quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab in face select. You can see it's building up my samples as well. I'm just going to grab these ones here. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to press U, project from view, and there we go. Now we can also see that we've got these two ends need going the other way. So I'm going to grab this one and this one, R90, spin them round, and now they're looking absolutely fine. Finally then, the window, we need to bring in glass. So I'm just going to click plus, down arrow, glass lit, and then I'm going to come into this part here, like so. And then what I'm going to do is glass lit, click assign. Now I need to just put these in place. So I'm going to press G, get them into the right sort of place, and then press S, make them so they're the right size, and then just press S and X, pull them out a little bit. I'm just focusing on one of them, which is this one, and then I can come to the next one, put that one in place, next one, put that one in place, and then the final one, put that one in place, like so. And there we go. There is the window actually pretty much done, and we can see, except for these parts. So these parts here, we're going to bring in a new material actually. So what we'll do is we'll actually save it out before we do anything. And then we'll go to our asset manager, and we're looking for the user library, and we're looking for materials. And the one we want on here, so the one we want on here is going to be, let's have a look. I'm just looking on the other one. I think it's going to be main metal. Let's have a look. Yes, main metal. So the one we want is this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this onto these. So onto these like so. Hopefully it dropped on. Yes, there we go. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to unwrap these. So I'm going to press A, U, Smart UV Project, OK. And there we go. There is our metal on there. Double tap the A. And let's actually have a look now what that actually looks like. So let's click it on. And there we go. And if these are getting in the way, by the way, you can just turn them off like so. Then you can see what your window's going to look like. Really, really nice. Looking from the back. Really, really cool. There we go. All right. Last of all then, before we do anything, what I want to do is, I want to turn this back on first. I want to actually copy all of, in fact, I'll just bring this over because I can put it actually back. So if I bring this over with G, I can put it here. And then what I can do is see if this actually works. So I'm going to grab all of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, and I'm hoping that I can actually create them as one asset in the asset manager. I'm hoping. So let's right click and mark as asset like so. Let's then come to current file, unassigned, and there we are. Now it's only going to create that. That is what I was worried about. I'm wondering how I can join all these together while still moving it. Well guys, after a long pause on my end, it seems like you can't actually save all this out in the asset manager. But what we can do instead is we can come in, we can clear the asset. So even in Blender 4, we can't actually do this. What I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to press Shift D, I'm going to duplicate this one, I'm going to put it over here. And then with this one, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to first of all come to these parts here. I'm going to press Control P and we clear, Alt P, clear parent. So just clear the parent, but Alt P, clear parent and keep transformations. Now what I should be able to do is delete these two parts, press delete, and now I should be able to join all of this together. So join it all together, Control J, so select the last one, Control J, Control A, all transforms, right click, so origin to geometry, and there we go. Let's right click and shade auto smooth. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up to here. I'm going to call it window with shutters. So window with shutters, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press the dot button to find it. And now I'm going to right click and I'm going to mark as asset. And there we go. So there is our asset. It's actually working now. It's just not able to put those parts in, but we also have it saved over here, so we can use this in our scene. You've got this. All you would need to do is go in your new scenes and just make sure you put, those empties in as I showed you how to move them. Now all we need to do is we need to put this in our windows. So I'm going to drag, drop it in our windows, and there we go. Now I'm just going to delete this out of the way. Wait a minute, no, I can't delete this one. I'm going to move this one over here as well. I'm going to move it out of the way over here because I'll need to keep in my scene to keep the actual asset. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come to this one and drop this back over here. So I'm going to grab my wall here, Shift S, cursor selected, grab this one, Shift S and selection to cursor, this one here, and there we go. Now let's just bring it out, and hopefully this saga, for me at least, on the back end, is over. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to just pull these up a little bit, like so, and get that fitting in really, really nicely, and there we go. All right, so now let's have a quick look at what this looks like and make sure I'm happy with it. And let's turn this off, and there we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, what do I want to do now? So I think the next thing we need to do, we need to bring this window down. So let's bring this window down. So I'm going to grab this window. I'm going to press Shift D, and I don't want it to be the same. So in other words, I want the UVs in this to be a little bit different. Some of the lights we're going to turn off as well, but I want in this one in particular, just the UVs to be a little bit different from this one over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the whole thing. I'm going to press A. I'm going to go over to shading. Let it load up. I'm going to put this on material so I can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that again. Grab everything. A to grab everything. G. Let's move them over so that they look different. And then all I'm going to do now, these should roughly be in the same side, in the same panels. So I'm just going to grab all of these like so. Grab the bottom ones. And then all I'm going to do is move these over. So if I move these over, now I don't want to put them straight back in the same place as the other ones. So I want to make sure that they're in different places. And the way I'm going to do that actually is I'm just going to put them like that. And then I'm just going to move these around again as well, like so. Just into some new places. And then just make sure I'm happy with them. There's one there with a halfway point. Let's have a look which one this one is. There we are. Let's put that one in place. And there we go. Now what I want to do is I just want to make sure that these windows are looking different from each other. So if we double tap the A now, we can see, apart from this part, you can see this part in here, that's not done right. We need to fix that. But the other parts, they're looking absolutely fine now. So let's just fix this one. So just this one here. You can see it's hanging over. So let's grab it. G, put it into place. And there we go. All right, so that's that window done now. Now I recommend what we do is something a little bit different now. I think what we should do is we should actually, on the next lesson, go in and actually create one of the lamps. So we can have one of the lamps coming over here. And I think it'll just give us a little bit of respite from all of the building that we're doing. Something a little bit different is what I mean. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm sorry that the linking didn't work. I think in the future, so maybe Blender 4.3 or something, it'll actually be working. But for now, it's not actually working. So we'll just have to get around it that way. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that. See you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.